everyone, welcome back to Rhsz Sports Zone. My name is Mia Alvarez, and I'm also your online sports editor for the El Posano newspaper. Today, I have Noah, Luis, and Matthew.
My name is Matthew Medina. I am the news editor for El Posano Media.
What's up? I'm Luis Martinez, and I'm the opinion editor for El Paisano newspaper.
Hello, I'm Noah Scovia, the former sports editor of El Paisano newspaper.
And today, we were supposed to have our mystery player, but due to certain circumstances, we're going to have one next week and the week after, hopefully. And right now, we're going to start off with the Rhsz sports. So what already happened was men's basketball is starting off pretty strongly because they had a game on this Tuesday, November 1st against Golden West, and they won 84-88. And then they also had a game Thursday, November 3rd against Orange Coast, and it was a loss. They only lost by 1 point.
Very close game.
Mm-hmm. So
yes. And
then I think men's soccer played Tuesday, November 1st against Pasadena City. That was a win, 0-4. Women's soccer had also played Tuesday, November 1st against Pasadena, and it was a tie. And then men's water polo played Thursday, November 3rd against El Camino. It was a loss, but it was kind of a close game because it was 18-17. And then women's volleyball also played Wednesday, November 2nd against Long Beach, and they swept them out in threes, which was a win. So we're going to start off with basketball that's happening.
Men's or women's?
The men's. We'll start with the men's.
Okay, so like Mia said, they beat Golden West 88-84. It was their first game of the season, and let me throw you some stats at you guys. So freshman guard Miles Jones hit a game-winning layup with 8 seconds remaining to secure the victory for the Roadrunners.
Wait, that was men's or women's?
It's
men's basketball.
Oh.
And then also Miles led Rio in points with 26. And it was his debut game as a freshman for
Let's
Rio.
go.
Also, the three main stats that stood out for the game versus Golden West was Rio had a 46.3 field goal percentage for the entire game. Also, Rio had 24 points thanks to points off of turnovers as compared to Golden West with 9 points all game. Then the last stat, Rio had 12 points coming off of fast break points as compared to Golden West with only 2 points.
I want to see one of their games, actually.
This is their scrimmage. They're only scrimmaging, right?
No.
Is this the actual season?
This is the actual season.
Okay, so they're 1-1 now?
Yeah, they're 1-1.
Both games have been, very close, all by 2 possessions or less.
Yes.
And so, it's only 1-1, and you haven't started conference yet, but, you're scoring 80 points a game, and, you're just getting started. And you can only go from here. You already have a win on your belt. Very close win, very spectacular win because it was a game winner, right?
Yeah, and then, like you said, they already scored 80 points, and in their second game, they lost by a score of 88-87.
Yeah, very, very, very close.
Versus Orange Coast College. Now, they're playing in tournaments so far, and they don't play conference games until next year in January versus ELAC. But the thing that stands out to me in that game versus Orange Coast College in the first round of the O'Fallon Sigu Classic was a nail-biter game. They lost by 1 point.
If y'all don't mind me jumping in, yeah, I think that's a really great telling marker of our team so far. One thing a lot of people who don't play basketball know is that it's a very high endurance sport that is constantly moving back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
So these guys are just running down. One thing that I really love to see is the defensive stats. Based off what you told us, I mean, these guys are running. They are getting in the lanes when they need to. They're getting steals. They're getting blocks. These guys are stripping the ball away. And even though they lost, I mean, it just looks like these guys know what they're doing on the defensive end, which is something usually teams, struggle on until the middle of the season. So looks like they're in form. So even though they lost by 1 point, I mean, these guys, they got the fundamentals down. They're shooting good. It's going to be a great season for us.
Yeah,
Yeah, it should be.
I think the main factor in this 1 point loss for Orange Coast College was they had 20 turnovers in that game.
Rio Hondo? Gold
Rio
Coast.
Hondo. Rio Hondo had 20 turnovers, and Orange Coast College had like 18 or 19.
Yeah, I mean, 20 turnovers is crazy. I do think they're going to pick it up, though. I mean, that's not going to be a nightly occurrence. And if it takes 20 turnovers for a team like them to lose by a point, I'm going to be pretty excited about the season.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we're going to need to see more games with more competition. I don't know how Gold West and Orange Coast are. I don't know if they're good or not. Obviously, it's the beginning of the season, so we don't know. But, maybe like a few more games and we'll get to see their record. And if they have a winning record, they're definitely going to be contenders this season.
Yeah, and watch out for the freshman guard Miles Jones because he scored 17 points versus a game at Orange Coast College.
Yeah, and I recently just seen the women's basketball recently posted their lineup. Well, not their lineup, but like their roster of people who are going to play. And I've seen that Jaylene Garcia, she is part of the volleyball girls.
Oh,
and
yes,
she's also
that's right.
playing for
Wow.
basketball, and she's a freshman.
That's good.
That's
good.
amazing. I want to see how that goes because I could
Next featured player?
maybe.
Could be.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Tune
it
in.
could be because we're gonna have one next Friday and hopefully the Friday after that.
Yeah, speaking of women's basketball, they actually tip off their season on the 4th of November at 3 p.m. at the Mount Sac tournament versus Buck College. And then just like the men's basketball, they're just doing a bunch of tournaments. They have the Mount Sac tournament right now from the 4th to the 6th of November, followed by the Riverside tournament on November 10th through the 12th at Riverside College. Then finally, they play at the El Camino crossover on November 18th and November 20th. And just like men's basketball, they don't play a conference game until next year versus ELAC. So good luck to them.
Good luck. And now we're gonna go on to soccer.
Men's soccer.
Yes.
This is probably one of... Hold on, my mic's kind of weird right now. This is probably one of my favorite teams to cover for men's... for sports at Rio Hondo. Men's soccer's been doing pretty good. They finished the season 5-3-1. And they're the number 4 seed in the SCC conference tournament. We did find out who they're playing in the quarterfinals. They are playing Los Angeles City College. They finished with a record at 500, 3-3-3. So, pretty consistent stuff from Los Angeles City. Not a winning record, but, good enough to make the conference tournament. And, we'll see how they do. It is a home game. It's tonight, I think, Friday night.
Yes, today at 6 p.m.
Yeah, so, home field advantage. They've had time to regroup. And, I feel like this team could make a run because the 2 times that I have seen them, they've shown tremendous improvement. And the last few games, they shut out Pasadena City. Mm-hmm. And I think they can make a pretty good run into the postseason.
Yeah, so it turns out that men's and women's soccer, that all teams in the SEC play in the tournament. And back to their conference record, they ended up finishing second place, like Matthew said earlier. And it was a dogfight. It was a dogfight for the SEC North Division title as Mount Sac edged Rio for the first time due to Mount Sac winning their last match 2-1 versus Rio on October 4th. So that was the main factor of why Mount Sac.
So Mount Sac swept Rio Hondo, right?
Yeah, in their series. And also, the program hasn't won a division title since the late 90s, in 97-98, when Rio Hondo was in the East Division of the SEC Conference.
So Mountaineers are hungry, huh?
Yes, they are.
They are hungry.
And also, this is the 7th SEC playoff appearance for the men's program dating back to 2008.
For Rio Hondo?
Yes, for Rio Hondo.
Okay. I'm gonna talk about this sport that I really love, and they're really great supporters of the newspaper. The women's volleyball team.
Yes.
Oh my God! What I don't know what to say. They're
Our
amazing.
I say this every episode, and then you're like, we don't have favorites.
We don't have favorites, but they show a lot of support.
Men's soccer is personally my favorite. That's just my favorite.
I just want to say, how do y'all do it, man? That's so like reflex based. Like,
Yeah, dude, volleyball is crazy.
no, it is like just watching
They're on
it.
a 5-game win streak.
Jesus
Right
Christ.
now. They're gonna play today at 6 against ELAC, and that's one of their rivals. And it's a conference game, and I'm gonna go cover that later on today. And I can't wait to get some awesome shots. Just to see them, like, they're just fire when they're on the court. Like, all the energy on the side, and then Coach Esco, like, the way she coaches them and the way she is to them, she's just like, I think they see her as like a mother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're just so amazing. I don't know what more I could say. They're just really great supporters. What do you guys think?
Yeah, like Lorenzo was saying, like last week when they were playing Desert College, when that coach said something to Esco really responsibly took that situation and took it calmly.
Yeah.
And that's what the mother figure should do. Just like Mia was saying that they have a 5-game winning streak, and they already defeated Cerritos on the road with the score 3-0 on October 28th. And they recently defeated Long Beach this past Wednesday, November 2nd at home with the score of 3-0. During the winning streak, they defeated PCC, Mount Sac, Desert College, Cerritos College, and Long Beach College.
Yes, it was really good. Against Pasadena, it was 3-1.
Mhm.
And then Mount Sac, it was 3-2.
Yes.
And then Desert was 3-1. And then Cerritos, they just swept them out completely. It was 3-0. And then Long Beach swept them out completely. It was 3-0. I just want to see what the outcome is for this East Los Angeles game, because last time they played them,
It was intense.
It was intense. The last score that they played was 3-2.
Yes.
So I want to see what they're going to be for today. And then the next game that they're going to have after ELAC game is the El Camino. It's a home game. So any of you guys that are listening to us, hopefully you guys are listening to us, go support the girls volleyball. It's at 6 on Wednesday, November 9th.
Looking at the standings, you know, that game against El Camino is a really big game.
Yes.
Because Rio Hondo 7-2 right now, as time of recording, and El Camino is 7-3, and so they're neck and neck for the second place spot, while Mount Sac is 9-1. They've been having a great season.
And they're 2 games behind them as well.
One team that really, you know, came down and went down a slide was Pasadena City. They weren't they ranked at one point, and that was when Rio Hondo beat them.
Yeah.
Like ever since then, you know, they've lost a few, and they're now 4-5, and they still have a winning record. They're 14-7.
Yeah.
But El Camino, they have a losing record, but they have a winning record in league.
Yeah.
So, you know, Pasadena City is still a good team.
And like you were saying, that El Camino game is really going to be a big factor, because that game can change the final standings in the SEC and the SEC playoff seeding as well. And speaking of the SEC playoff tournament, it starts November 19th through the November 26th. And then right after is the state championship tournament from December 2nd to December 4th, all the way up north at Fresno City College. So they're going to be traveling if they make it to the state.
I mean, it just sounds like they're just dominating right now. I mean,
yes.
A lot of people, when teams go on streaks like this, a lot of people like to say that it's a fluke. But I mean, these girls aren't just winning; they're crushing it. Like, it's just like they're not like just winning games; they're demoralizing. I mean, honestly, I'm glad I'm a real Hondo women's volleyball fan and not on the other side. You just, oh my god, like
yeah, looking at their they won 5 straight.
Yeah.
2 of them were sweeps, 3-0. 2 of them were 3-1s. The only close one was against a good Mount Sac team, and they beat them.
Yeah.
And so,
And Mount Sac was ranked. And speaking of ranked teams, Rio Hondo is number 21, and they should be moved up in the standings coming up this Monday when the state officials from the volleyball committee come together and change up those rankings, because I think they should be moved up from 21 to probably
Maybe top 10.
maybe top
Yeah.
maybe top 10,
Hopefully.
maybe.
Yeah, it's just crazy, It's crazy to be a fan of it right now. It's a perfect time to be a fan of it. If you're not into volleyball, come watch a game because they're great.
They're amazing.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, and I looked at their Instagram, and it turns out they have a really good crowd with other programs here.
men's soccer was there.
Men's soccer was there yelling,
Shout out men's soccer. You
Yeah,
guys are
thank
doing
you, thank
amazing
you.
with your support.
and with a bunch of signs. So that was
Yeah.
really good. And also a shout out to the men's water polo, because during
They're-
the ELAC game they were there too, and I think they're always there. So good thing that every program's watching out for one another, and it's really cool.
Yeah, and I love if you guys ever have a chance to like interview them or like talk to them. I've had a chance to interview most of the girls there, and they're really humble. They're just really sometimes they're like, oh, like I'm a little bit shy. Like they're shy of interviewing. They don't know what to say, but it's a lot because you're actually getting that like the words that are coming from them, like actual after the game. I tell them all the time, oh, how was the game? They're like, oh, we could have done better, but that's really good, like really good words. Like it's amazing. Like
And their personalities really come out during the game
Yeah.
on the court. Their passion is really present during the games, and they've been playing for each other, and it's showing. They won 5 straight, and they can make a run, just like with the men's soccer team.
Yeah.
They're
Correct.
very similar teams. Men's soccer has had very tough losses, but volleyball has been dominating right now, and they have a chance
Yeah.
to win out. They definitely have a chance to make a run, and we'll see how they go.
I mean, I think that momentum is really important, especially in a sport like this where oftentimes it's like you don't get that many chances to
Yes.
proceed. These girls have all the momentum in the world, and they are winning in a great fashion. They're beating teams that are, according to some people, better than them, which I would say that they're not. But yeah, I mean, these girls, they have. I wouldn't be surprised if we're still talking about them in November because they're still late November because they're still playing. So
Yeah, and that's playoff time, so
yeah,
we'll see if they bring a title home.
might see them in December too.
Yeah.
Hope so.
Travel all the way up to Fresno
Yeah.
City to go watch
Hey,
them. Hey,
we might
now.
have to film it.
I drive like for example like today's game at ELAC.
Yeah.
It's like not that far away. Just
No.
go and
Wait, it's not a home game tonight?
No,
it's not a
it's
home.
a-
It's an
oh,
away
it's
game.
on the
Oh
It's an
man,
away game. Next week is
you're
a
very
home game.
dedicated.
Yeah.
I mean, let us know, guys. We can carpool or something. Let us know.
But honestly, somebody here at Out by Tunnel should be covering that state tournament if they make it all the way to Fresno State. If Aaron Martinez can find money in our budget to get us over there, that would be really fine.
We love you, Aaron.
Okay.
That is our new soundboard right there.
Yeah.
Yes, I want to use that a lot.
We're still
Please
getting
get
used
more.
to it.
Yes, please get more sound bites in there.
Now we're gonna talk about wrestling. We're gonna talk
Ooh.
about wrestling right now.
Yes.
Wrestling.
What are your takes, Luis?
I have. go ahead.
I love wrestling. I mean, I've been lucky enough to know one of the wrestlers on the team for
Which
a
one?
while now. His
Which
name is
one?
Emmett Mercado.
Oh,
This
Emmett
guy-
Mercado. He
Yeah.
was the wrestler player of the week last week.
No, this guy is a beast. As somebody who's seen him for a while now, because I've covered him before in high school too.
Whoa,
This
wow.
guy's the real deal. I don't get it. He is a freak of nature. This dude, like, he crushes at this guy. I don't know. Did no one teach him how to lose or something? Cause like
He's
just-
unstoppable.
No, he is, and it's insane. Like, not only in wrestling, like this dude would do like new sports like track and field, and he would still crush it. Like, this dude is a freak of nature. He's strong behind it, and I mean, if you follow him, you know that he works super hard. Like, every day he posts like 5 gym stories, all like at 5 different hours and all that type of stuff. This man works
like
hard.
Dedicated.
like a Mark Wahlberg, you know.
No, it's crazy. It's crazy to watch. It's inspiring too. I mean, man puts in the work and it shows. Guys, he's killing it.
And to realize how strong he is, and he's 285 pounds, and he's really unstoppable because last week he got first place in the win, and he got Player of the Week mentions as well.
What did DJ Khaled said? All I do is win no matter what. It's got to
Yep.
be his song right there, guys. Come on.
I think. Do you think do you know if he has D1 offers?
I
Yeah, that would
am
be
not
really-
sure. I could definitely find out for you guys.
I'm pretty sure if he's doing this well, people need to know and see him, and scouts need to come over to Real Hondo and check him out, because the way I've been hearing about really good things about him, he has potential to be a D1 athlete, and wrestling's big in the collegiate level.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is. Oh my God, yes, it is.
So
Yeah, you look at Brock Lesnar. He won the NCAA Division One from Minnesota.
Minnesota is one of the
yeah,
best
top dog.
wrestling
Yep.
schools in the nation.
Yeah. Speaking of wrestling, I have a little update here. The wrestling program had a match at Palomero this past Wednesday on November the 2nd. And they defeated the Comets 24-16 in a conference match. But I didn't know this, but according to their Instagram, that's one of their rivals so far this season. And overall, they won 7 out of the 10 matches versus Palmero. And I had to believe one of those matches was due to Emmett McCallum. It doesn't say that on paper, but I have a really good feeling that he was one of the victorious wrestlers
It doesn't
out
say
there
it,
on the mat.
but it says it. It
Yeah.
doesn't say it, but it says it.
It says it. Boom.
It doesn't have to say it.
Okay, now we're gonna go to both men's water polo and women's water polo. So, I wasn't able to get some schedules for the men's water polo or the women's water polo. You just gotta update it on the website, because we're looking. We want to know what you guys are playing, what time you guys are playing. Just update it. But I do know they're supposed to play tomorrow, Saturday.
I just looked up on the
Yeah.
website. Yesterday, November 3rd, they lost their first round game in the South Coast Conference Championships against El Camino College.
Yeah. And then if you look at the bottom, they lost, like Matthew said, that they lost their preliminary round. And then they were victorious in their second round match of the day today on the 4th versus PCC with the score of 5-0. But it turns out that somebody forfeited that match. So I don't know if that was PCC because Rio Honda won. But that's good. Hey, they keep moving up in the tournament. And lastly, even though the Lady Roadrunners finished 4-20 overall this season, and that's a below 500 record, but they had 144 goals and 81 assists in 24 games to end the season. And the men's water polo update will be coming up shortly.
Okay, that is it for the Real Hondo Sports. Now we're gonna go professional. So, like I say, every podcast, go get a drink, go get something to eat.
Just pause the podcast right now. If you're, take a break from work. Usually, I like to listen to my podcast while working, and so just take a break real quick.
While cleaning too.
Yes,
it's-
cleaning, whatever
Cleaning,
you're doing right now.
cooking. Hey, if you're cooking right now,
Yeah.
drop a 5-star.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Thumbs
just
up.
take a break
subscribe.
right now, get us some popcorn, and we'll come back with the sports.
Something healthy though. Come on, guys.
Yeah, because we have a lot, NFL wise, World Series wise.
Oh,
that
big World Series wise.
Great World Series.
Yes,
This is one of the
has-
best.
so far.
NBA, the LAFC, hockey
Preach.
is going on too.
Boom.
So we'll start with NFL. I found out some news regarding the NFL that Jeff Bezos is a billionaire right now. He's
Very much a billionaire.
interested in bidding for the NFL's Washington Commanders, Reports say that, but Bezos may pursue a bid with Jay-Z, and Bloomberg, and the Washington Post also reported that. What do you guys think of him, pursuing a bid with Jay-Z?
Also, another owner to add to the ownership. Remember RG3, Robert Griffin III from Baylor? It turns out that he is in the running to become a minority owner.
Really?
Of the ownership of the Washington Commanders. And lucky owner, he is willing to give 10 spots to random people to become an owner of the Washington Commanders.
That is crazy.
Via the minority ownership. And he already has 10 people so far. And
so
also
those 10 spots already filled up.
Yes, really quick. He put it on his Twitter yesterday. And it turns out he has 400 million in funds so far from his income, and he's going to be funding the 10 other people who are going to own the team.
All I'm going to say,
really good.
all I'm going to say is, this team needed a new owner.
Yes,
and this team,
100%.
this team desperately needs a new owner. And their previous owner, Dan Snyder, they recently just had. I've heard the league doesn't really like him, and it's bad for an organization, and their stadium is one of the worst in the league, and everybody knows it. They desperately need a new owner, and this is good for the Commanders and the city of Washington, the state of Washington, or not the state of Washington, the Washington's in Maryland.
District of Columbia, by the way.
Yes.
Actually, they play in Maryland, Virginia. But it's also good for the entire NFL, because that's one thing they don't have to worry about. That's one topic that the owners of the NFL don't have to bring up anymore when it comes to the owner meetings. And you really heard it this past ownership meeting. Colts Jim Irsay said publicly that the league has a merit on Dan Snyder, and it turns out that Dan Snyder just hired Bank of America to sell the team.
I heard that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think it's really interesting. It's a dynamic duo. A lot of people think it's going to be really funny, but I actually believe that it's going to be very beneficial to all parties involved. RG3, this guy is a professional in the field. He knows football, plain and simple. Jeff Bezos, that dude has money. Everyone knows that dude has money. And for the financial aspect of it, that team's going to be making money. It's good for the league because more money, higher salary cap, better players, better teams. Everyone benefits.
And then having Jay-Z in there too. And he has a Rock Nation promotions as well.
Yep.
And he's really influential on the NFL. You saw that during the Super Bowl halftime show, and he has other avenues with the NFL that he teams up with. Also, it turns out after Dan Snyder hired Bank of America to sell the team, an hour later, the federal government opened up an investigation on the Washington Commanders and Dan Snyder. So, trouble in paradise for the Snyder family. Also, Bezos has money, and he recently wanted a bid on the Phoenix Suns, so good for him. He's now going to bid on the Washington Commanders, and we wish him all good luck with a fantastic ownership group.
He has a lot of money.
Yes, lots of money.
I think someone did the math, right? Like, he could buy out all the big four sports teams.
Yes,
he could buy the whole Premier League team. This dude has money. But I know a lot of guys don't like Jeff Bezos, but at the end of the day, a lot of the issues that the big four sports face here in the U.S. is just owners who are very stingy. This dude is not stingy. This dude spends money. he got money, guys. He got money. I think he's like second place. I have more money than him, but like just like the dude has money, so it's gonna be a great time for everyone. Who knows?
Real quick, I just want to go over the NFL trade deadline that just ended.
Yes,
most of the players. It's not on our little sheet right here, but I just want to go over the players that we missed on the last episode. T.J. Hawkinson from the Lions, he got traded to the Vikings. I think that's a good pickup for the Vikings. Bad trade for the Lions. Very bad trade.
Even though they got a couple picks.
I mean, more on that. Chase Claypool got traded to the Bears.
I saw that.
You know, the Bears really need wide receiver, and they probably got their number one. Bradley Chubb got traded to the Dolphins. Calvin Ridley from the Falcons got traded to the Jaguars.
Finally.
Jaguars got a pretty deep wide receiver core. Now adding Calvin Ridley. And Nyheim Hines from the Colts got traded to the Bills to be their running back.
Yeah, and it turns out that right when Bradley Chubb was traded to the Dolphins, the Miami Dolphins jumped on him, and they got a 5-year extension. Signed, sealed, delivered for Bradley Chubb. Also, 2 trades that also stood out was Robert Quinn got traded from the Bears to the Eagles, and middle linebacker Raheem Smith got traded from the Bears to the Ravens. Speaking of the Bears, they have over $100 million in salary cap, and they have over 1,000 picks. I don't know, so it's really good for the Bears. They're cleaning house, but they're actually making money for the future.
Okay, I'm gonna get into a little bit of.
Is this the World Series?
No.
Oh.
An NFL Hall of Famer, Ray Guy, the most legendary punter of all time, passed away yesterday, November 3rd. He was 73 years old, and he became the first pure punter to ever be selected in the first round of the NFL draft. He's going 23rd overall to the Oakland Raiders in 1973. After a stellar career at the University of Southern Mississippi, he went on to win 3 Super Bowls with the Raiders in 1977, 1981, and 1984.
Yeah, he played 13 seasons with then Oakland Raiders, now Las Vegas Raiders. It turns out that he is one of the only punters to make it into Canton, Ohio in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And also, a lot of people credit him to be one of the main persons to be a special teamer. And I heard that the way he punted the balls was ridiculous, and a bunch of Raider coaches and players all give him praise for that. So rest in peace, Mr. Guy.
Now we're gonna go on MLB. The World Series is happening.
You could play that same music that happened last night. Alright, I'll just...
Man,
That
this whole
was
season.
horrible.
Dude.
Yesterday's game.
I mean, it was a very close game on Thursday night. The Phillies closed out their final home game of the season with a loss.
Yeah, and it turns out that they only lost 2 playoff games at home.
Yeah.
This whole entire postseason.
And both of them were against the Astros.
Yes.
So, they get a travel day at the time we're recording. Next week, the World Series is going to end when we record.
Yeah.
So, for right now, we're just going to do our predictions. You already know who's going to win the next time we record.
Phillies.
The Phillies.
You think they're going to come back?
I want them to come back so bad. I don't want the Astros to win. I don't know. I'm not a really big Astro fan.
Hold on. Before we start, and we're probably all Dodger fans here. I'm depressed, but we're journalists. Let's try to be unbiased. I don't like the Astros. I'll say
no one
that.
likes the Astros.
Let's be honest, though, man. Jose Altuve, you freaking guy. You're good at baseball, man. You're good at baseball.
Yes, he is.
You can't deny how good this team is. Their overall, like, their whole lineup could hit, and their rookie Jose Pena, he's just been lights out for this team. He won the ALDS MVP, and he could very easily win the MVP for this series. He's been very fantastic. He's been 8 for 21, and he's been clutch. And the top of the line for the Astros hasn't been that great, but they've been good at times when it counts. And so, this Astros team is very hard to beat. And somehow the Phillies won in Houston, and they gotta go back into Houston. It's gonna be tough, but you gotta win 2 in a row. You gotta do it however you can, and keep that Astros team from scoring.
Yeah, speaking of the rookie sensation shortstop, Jeremy Pena, he is actually the first,
his name is Jeremy Pena.
Jeremy
Jose Pena.
He's actually the first rookie to hit a home run in the World Series. Also, he went 3 for 4 during Game 5 with an RBI single and an RBI home run. And Game 6 is Saturday, November 5th. And if possible, Game 7, the last game, is Sunday, November 6th at 5 p.m. in Houston inside of Minute Maid Park. And the Game 6 starters are Zach Wilder and Frander Valdez. Now, if Game 7 happens, unfortunately right now, the starters haven't been officially announced yet. But anyways, let's talk about this Game 5. There are a few things that stand out right here, right now. It was a tight one-run game with a score of 3-2 by the Astros to give them the series lead 3-2.
The Phillies had a little run going in the 8th inning.
Yes.
And Schwarber hit a liner down the first base line, and
Trey Mancini.
There was a runner on third. They were going to tie the game, and Trey Mancini made a heck of a grab, a heck of a pick at the first base line, and that saved the game for the Astros. If the Phillies scored on that play, that inning would have kept going, and I think the Phillies had regained the momentum. But that changed the trajectory of the game, and this series could easily be 3-2 Astros or 3-2 Phillies instead of 3-2 Astros.
Yes,
that's just how close this series has been.
Speaking of another defensive play, did you guys see J.D. McCormick make a game-saving catch in the 9th inning?
That was another great catch
against the wall by robbing J.T. Realmuto of a possible double or triple with only 1 out in the bottom of the 9th inning.
Yeah, Astros had two great plays.
Yes.
To save the game for them, and the Phillies just there's nothing you could do. There's really nothing you could do against 2 great plays, 2 great balls that were hit.
Mm-hmm.
And
fantastic.
Yeah, and they just got unlucky.
Just to say, I think teams should know by now. Get your runs in the beginning of the game.
Yes, man.
Yeah.
It's hard because you're facing the starting pitcher.
Mm-hmm.
But
Verlander at the time.
Runs are limited, and these teams have known it since the Game 1 of the World Series.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just the Astros in general. They are, I hate to admit it, but they're the most clutch team in baseball, and they've been the most clutch team in baseball. I don't know if something in that Minute Maid juice that they drink or something. It's like a clutch gene, but no, these guys, they're dream crushers. Hey, watch every World Series, even if they don't win. Every single World Series that they're in, late innings, these guys always have a miracle, and it might have been like the first time, but these guys, they know how to close games out, they know how to win, and that's why we keep seeing them again and again and again.
Yeah, speaking of being clutch, they are actually 4-0 all-time in World Series Game 5s, and we saw that during Game 5.
Don't remind me of 2017.
Well, I had to.
That was the greatest World Series game of all time,
yes.
And the Dodgers lost.
What are you talking about? I don't know what 2017 is.
So Justin Verlander finally got his first World Series win in his career. Now he's 1-6 overall, and he just pitched a fantastic game, going 5 innings with 4 hits, 1 earned run, 4 walks, and 6 strikeouts. But you guys gotta tell me, that Game 4 was a momentum shifter for the Astros. Christian Javier, no-hitter, combined no-hitter. That was fantastic.
I forgot about that.
Let me point out some big factors right here. You gotta give credit where credit's due. The Astros have thrown the second no-hitter in World Series history, right behind New York Yankee pitcher Don Larson back in 1956 versus then the Brooklyn Dodgers. And of course, the final score of Game 4 was a shutout victory for the Astros with a score of 5-0. 4 pitchers combined to throw the no-hitter: Christian Javier, Brian Abreu, Rafael Montero, and Ryan Presley. Let me throw you this stat out from Christian Javier. He threw 6 shutout innings in his first career World Series start. He had 0 hits, 0 earned runs, 2 walks, and 9 strikeouts.
Oh my goodness.
Also, he threw a total of 97 pitches, and 70 of those pitches were fastballs. Now, he mostly threw fastballs and a little bit of the sliders against the heavy-hitting Phillies lineup. He had a total of 9 strikeouts, and 6 of those strikeouts were from his fastball. Another historic stat is Astros catcher Christian Vasquez joined Hall of Famer and World Series champion Yogi Berra as the only 2 catchers to catch no-hitters in the World Series. And you really saw that it was a momentum shifter when Jose Altuve hit that triple in the first, and then Jeremy Pena went off, and then it was just like Game 5 was a defensive pitching game.
Yeah.
And the momentum is now in Houston's corner.
And
Very much so. And, you know, that Game 4, it is you can't look past the accomplishment that the Astros, they pitched a combined no-hitter in the World Series. It's unheard of. It's only the second time that's ever happened. And, you know, that just goes to show how good this Astros team is, hitting-wise, pitching-wise. Like, you can't – they shut out the Yankees. I mean, they swept the Yankees badly.
Yes, badly.
And, you know, to get here to the World Series, everyone should have saw it coming in the beginning of the season. And next season, it's going to be no different.
And I think every team should be on notice that the Astros are for real, even though they had some speculations in the previous postseasons with cheating allegations. But anyways, they're a really good team, and you hate to admit it.
It sucks that we have the same conversation about the Dodgers, and they can't do the same thing.
Yes.
And they have the better lineup. They have the best lineup in baseball. And we always say, oh, the Dodgers are the favorites to win the World Series. And, you know, every single year they fail to expectations. And somehow the Astros are always on top. And with that, they have a really good lineup. Yeah. And it's sneaky good. Everyone, I mean, we've been known of Alex Bregman, Jose Altuve, Yuli Gurriel. All those guys have been on the...
Don't say that name. He used to be a Dodger. Don't say that name. Don't say that name.
I know.
But, you know, these guys, you know, they cheated, though. But we all know they cheated.
I think a main factor is whoever's in the managerial spot.
Dusty Baker.
Look at the Astros. A Hall of Fame shortstop, player type coach, Dusty Baker, who has been around for years with the Reds, with the Nationals, with the Giants, and he took the Giants to the World Series 2002 versus the Angels. He lost. He took the Nationals in 2019, and he lost. So
he won.
Yeah, they won.
Oh, they won.
They won the World Series.
But I don't think he was the manager back then. I think he was fired before.
I don't remember.
But anyways, Dusty Baker hasn't been good in the World Series, but I think this year he gets it done. But back like Matthew was saying about the Dodgers, Dave Roberts, when it comes to October, he's a different person when he manages.
I don't know, maybe, but I also just think that in October teams adjust more. They look more at those scouting reports, and that's why I feel like the Astros are just such a continually good team. It's just that I think that not only are they very strategic and intelligent with what they do, but also they are consistent. And even though the playoffs is a lot about who gets hot at the right time, they don't worry about that. They just play good the whole time. They don't really have any really sucky games. Whereas like another team like the Dodgers, the Padres, or the Phillies, these guys,
correct,
they have like games where they're like 50-2.
Yeah, you don't see the Astros get blown out.
No.
It's always when they lose, it's the 1 or 2 run game. It's never like and it always comes down to a spectacular home run,
Yes.
or a clutch base hit, or an amazing catch to end the game. You never see them get blown out, and it's like a 7-0 loss, like how the the Padres or Phillies would beat the Padres and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that's the whole reason why the Astros are just gamers, man.
And I think, even though I believe they had the bye week, they were number one, that didn't really matter to them, because they were unstoppable in the playoffs. As compared to the Dodgers, they had the bye week. They did the simulated games and it didn't work out. But here's the thing, like Matthew was saying, the Astros only lose a little bit due to like major things that happened during the game. But they are actually 0-5 in game ones when it comes to the World Series. But after that, it's a whole nother ball game. And then when it comes to game fives, they're 4-0. That's spectacular.
All right, I'm done praising the Astros.
Yes.
I'm never doing that again.
Love you,
Can we
Bryce
move-
Harper.
Yeah. Can we talk about a little NBA now?
I love me
Yes,
some
We
there's,
have-
a lot,
NBA.
there's a lot
There's
of
a lot
NBA
of
that's
things-
happening right now,
yes.
Especially with Kyle Irving for
Kyrie
the Brooklyn
Irving.
Nets. He is, yes.
Kyle Irving.
I love that.
I
I'm gonna
love
call him
Kyle
Kyle Irving now.
Yeah, he's suspended for at least 5 games without pay, dismayed by his repeated failure to what is it?
Unequivocally.
Yes.
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 Say he has no anti-Semitic beliefs, so he's suspended right now. But
On that note, I wasn't surprised that his opinion got the public eye's attention. Again, because back in 2021, he didn't get the COVID shot or booster shot for personal reasons and sat out for the majority of the season with the Brooklyn Nets due to the NBA and New York City COVID protocols at that time. Then, in October of 2018, when he was with the Boston Celtics, he stated that the Earth was flat. And he ended up getting a lot of heat for that
Why is this
statement.
news?
It is fun.
Yeah. But
is it flat or is it round?
I don't know. We'll see.
When you see a field, how come it's always
Yeah.
level? Come on, guys.
On the other hand, this is 2022, and people in general have to be accountable for their actions. For example, hold on.
Right now, the NBA is getting, ever since 2020, it's been a whole different vibe in the NBA. With you have to be careful what you say in the NBA nowadays.
Yeah.
For good or for
Because it's just a whole different generation, and it's not like back in the old days where you just played basketball, right? You're a public figure now, and you represent brands, and you represent your own brands and other companies, and so it's not just you're just playing basketball for a team, you're playing for other organizations too. And so that's how the NBA is now, that's how other major sports leagues are now, and that's just how you just got to be careful.
Yeah, speaking of being careful, for example, when Kanye West decided to go off on the Jews, it backfired him, and his net worth dropped over $1 billion when Adidas dropped him and other company partners dropped him as well due to his horrible choice of words over the last month. Yes, you have to be careful in the NBA, and that's something I noticed that the NBA on TNT guys, inside the NBA guys, Shaq, Kenny, and Ernie, those veteran guys, they don't get it nowadays. In this NBA, you have to be really careful. And Shaq is really vocal about how it was back in the day, and you can do a lot more stuff and get away with it. But now, like Matthew said, you got to be walking eggshells nowadays.
That is true. And then I know the Lakers play today against Utah Jazz at 7:30 p.m. The Lakers are number 13 in the Western Conference, and the Phoenix Suns are number 1 in the Western
Yes,
Conference.
finally, the Lakers are on a winning path after being 0-5 to start the season, and now they are on a 2-game winning streak. Hallelujah. Can we get a hallelujah? Now they're 2-5.
Wait. No. This guy.
That's the wrong sound. Sorry.
Yeah. After defeating the New Orleans Pelicans 120-100 and 17.
I actually wanted to just add a little bit to the last point. Of course, I'm just a student, so I don't take my words with a grain of salt. I don't know much, and I'm not very educated.
I don't know much
on
either.
Subjects. Yeah, my opinion is just based off of what I've heard and know. I believe that the NBA is holding people accountable, which is good and bad. Just because I feel like there's just, it's not black and white as it seems. The film, other people have said I have not seen it for myself, so I can't form an opinion about it.
I think nobody has seen the film.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
It's Kyrie, I guess, promoted a film that allegedly has anti-Semitic undertones. I wouldn't know, but what I do want to say is just because somebody promotes something or agrees with something doesn't mean that they are with them all the way. So
Yeah.
I do want to give him a little of the benefit of the doubt because he's a very well-spoken, intelligent man, and just because he promotes one thing doesn't mean that he goes with everything that the brand says. And just to add on to it too, it sucks to see how nitpicky a lot of NBA fans and the NBA has become. Just like who was it? Enes Kanter, now known as Enes Freedom, was blackballed he was.
Oh yes, the Boston Celtics guy.
Celtics center.
Yeah, I think he actually called out LeBron James.
He called out LeBron. He called out the NBA in general for their treatment with a lot of the Chinese.
Correct. Yeah.
With a lot of with the Chinese government, just because of how they're going about their business. I'm not gonna say what it is. I'm not sure, but yeah, it's kind of sad to see how nitpicky it is. Something is being done, which is great, but. Personally, I'm only speaking for myself. I do wish that it was if someone has to watch what they're saying about one thing, it should be everything. You shouldn't just be nitpicking with whatever is popular. I think everything and everyone should be held accountable for what they do and say.
Yeah. Speaking of the NBA, on that topic, there's some injury news out there. Clippers Kawhi Leonard will miss at least 3 games with a right knee injury. Check this out. Kyrie has only played 180 NBA regular season games since 2017 and 2018. On the other hand, even Anthony Davis has played more games with 274 games during that span. Do you guys think the Clippers are better than the Lakers despite the Kyrie Leonard injury?
Yeah. Oh my God. Let's talk about it, guys. I don't know how to say it. I'm a Curry fan. I'm a Steph Curry fan. Let's get that out of the way. Not a big Clippers or Lakers fan now. I do love the Lakers, though. Lakers suck. The Clippers are good and the Lakers suck. It's hard for LA people to admit it, but the Lakers are not a good team. Their chemistry, sometimes it's very questionable. I feel like if we picked up a basketball, we'd have better team chemistry, even though we've never played sports together. But like, it's kind of disheartening to see because it's a franchise that has money and it's a franchise that has the star power to get people, and the Clippers are the little brother. But I mean, the way that they play, I've been to a few Clipper games myself and I've seen it in person. These guys, even the cohesion they have is insane. They're bench players. Amir Coffey, I love you, man. Saw you play. Yeah, dude, these guys, they get it done. They're not top heavy like the Lakers, even though they have star players. Everyone on that team gets buckets, man. Zubac, George, freaking Robert Covington, like I said, Coffee. Trying to think of what's it called, Reggie Jackson. All these guys, they get buckets, man. They're bucket getters. They get stops on defense, and that's what it takes. If I see the Clippers versus the Warriors in the Western Conference Finals, I wouldn't be surprised. And if I see the Lakers getting a lottery pick, I also wouldn't be surprised.
I'm not very knowledgeable of the NBA, but I'm sort of knowledgeable with the Ontario Clippers.
Okay.
Tell us more about it.
Recently, I went to their Ontario Clippers Media Day, and so I was, I got the opportunity to meet all the players and, set up all the Media Day stuff. So I thought that was a cool experience. That's the type of experience that you get when you do Rio Hondo journalism.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm going to go to soccer. So I recently went last weekend to the LAFC game versus Austin with my writer, Lorenzo. He's not here right now. He's on vacation. So
lazy. I'm kidding. Love you,
he's on vacation right now.
Shout out to Lorenzo.
So I'm going to be...
Oh, That was the wrong one.
Right. You got us messed up, man. Come
I am
on.
so sorry,
Gotta-
listeners.
Gotta put some labels on there or something.
Anyways, Nia, go ahead.
I'm gonna be doing a little preview of the LAFC. I know he wanted to do it, but this is what we have to do.
We're
We
so
gotta
sorry,
step up to
Lorenzo.
the
Sorry.
Lorenzo,
Yeah.
you gotta be here.
If you were here,
We could do it next week. The whole other one, but LAFC becomes the Western Conference Championship. They're the champions.
Yep.
There's also a countdown that is going on. There's 17 days until the World Cup.
As of
Ooh.
recording this? As of
Yes.
recording.
Yes.
And speaking of the World Cup, I think we're gonna have a World Cup podcast show
World
coming
Cup
up.
special.
World Cup special coming up soon.
Yes.
Okay.
The World Cup starts November 20th, 2022.
Uh-huh.
The first match is between, is it Qatar?
Qatar.
Or
Yeah, Qatar's hosting.
and Ecuador at 8 o'clock a.m.
Hey, you guys know where I'm gonna be at 8 o'clock. Yes, sir. Watching the game, of course.
I'm so
At
glad.
the dinner table with me.
I'm so
yeah.
glad they're in the mornings because like you start your day with soccer.
Shit, I
Yeah,
mean,
and then look at you have your leftovers. You can eat your leftovers from Thanksgiving and watch World Cup soccer.
Yes.
I'm gonna be at work.
Any ham?
Let's talk about it. Ham is better than turkey. Let's just.
You know what? Look, it just depends. Like I like dark meat in my turkey. I feel like that's it's kind of not accepted. Is that accepted? I don't know, but I like dark meat in my
burning your
Do
turkey.
you
turkey,
like it
man.
more cut?
Was that?
Do you like it more cut?
He likes
Doesn't
it
matter,
burnt.
shredded, sliced.
Crispy.
I don't care, bro. I'll put it. I like to make it like a little sandwich.
The
for me.
darker the
Yeah,
better.
but hey, look at you can make your sandwich and watch the World Cup play.
Yeah.
And the next day, I think the USA is playing.
Dude,
Yes.
you're making me hungry right now, bro.
Oh my
I
gosh,
want
Let's go.
we
Let's
cannot
go.
wait to talk about,
I love
also
food.
watch the Real Talk. They'll probably be doing a Thanksgiving special.
Yes.
Probably.
That would be great. We might have our own little, Friendsgiving. We might have that in the newsroom.
Okay.
So we're just going to talk about the soccer, the LAFC. I went to that game. I photographed that game. I was there that day. It was just a lot of energy. They won, I think, 3-0. I'm not really sure. I'm sorry.
You were there.
I was there, but,
But you were busy. You were
I was
busy.
photographing the whole time. I actually got the chance to be on the field and be up close to them and
Nice pictures,
photograph
by
them.
the way.
Yeah,
nice
I saw that
pictures.
you
Check out
and
the
Lorenzo.
newspaper. Mia got
Yes.
some great pictures. I saw them.
Check out the
Pretty nice.
newspaper. It was great. I saw some of the players. I was in the supporter section. Supporters were really showing a lot of support.
They always do.
throwing
Supporters are
their
supporting.
beer,
Yes.
throwing their water, just like crazy, and you could
Charlie.
see their reflection, like their emotions.
Mhm.
It was just all wild that day. They won, I think, because what is it, Austin? They went against Austin, and
Austin
Austin
FC.
didn't score
Austin
at all.
Speaking of Austin, their owner is Matthew McConaughey, and the LAFC owner is Will Ferrell and a bunch of other celebrities and former sports athletes. So
Hey, LAFC. Why isn't Bale playing? I'm sorry. Calling y'all out. Why isn't Bale playing? I love Bale. He just fast. He gets the ball in the net. Come on, guys.
This
guy-
is another sport I'm not very knowledgeable.
okay,
about.
what's his name again? Because I always call him Christian Bale, and that's the actor. What's his first name?
Something's in the way. No.
Something's no.
Is
I'm
it
not gonna do it.
is it Gareth Bale or
Gareth Bale.
Gareth Bale? There
From
you go.
Wales.
Sorry, Christian
Hey,
Bale.
real quick,
Hey, we
because
love
I know
Christian Bale.
Edon likes F1. Did you guys see that Red Bull car drive through the casinos?
What?
Oh yeah, on the
Did you see that?
on the
Oh,
shoot
because-
right? They're
yeah.
shooting. They shut down the
Yeah.
street, right?
They're having the launch party, right? For
Yeah.
the,
Yeah,
they were
because they're gonna have
shooting
a
a
Grand
promo.
Prix over there.
they're having the launch party for the Las Vegas Grand Prix, which is happening next year. You guys
Hey.
know-
I bet you that Red Bull driver wanted to play some slots or some roulette. Cause why would you drive all the way to the casino? Maybe you want to gamble or eat some food, but I don't really know.
Hey, Edon, are you going?
Yeah,
Hey, we're
you should
going. We're
support.
going. We're going.
You
I'm
should go support and be a representative for Outplay Social Media, just like Lorenzo was on the Instagram Live.
Yeah.
Figure it out.
Great updates by Lorenzo, though.
Hey, Red Bull, stop spending money. It's not fair. Okay, Mercedes.
I'm sorry, I don't really
Come
know
on.
a lot of the F1
Ooh,
going on.
Lewis
I'm
Hamilton.
sorry.
That's my goat.
Edon,
Lewis
that's
Hamilton.
your
yeah,
that's your
the
next.
goat.
Hey, and he's one of the Broncos owners.
Hey,
Yeah,
Lewis
hey, he has a
Hamilton.
lot of money.
Hey, Sir Lewis Hamilton.
Spread
Sir Lewis
spread the
Hamilton.
joy around. It's Christmas night, Thanksgiving.
But yeah, probably next week we'll have Lorenzo. He'll both basically talk more about the LAFC.
Only
because they
about
all-
soccer.
Yes.
But I think they're playing the Philadelphia Union, the MLS
Yes.
Cup,
Oh
Yeah,
my
yeah.
God.
at
playing-
1
playing
o'clock.
Philly.
And we got a little breaking news. If there's any fans going to the game,
You're not gonna have
Oh.
parking.
yeah, you are not gonna have
So,
parking
You're
sounds
because of the UFC game.
So,
UFC game.
at the time when this is published, the game's probably gonna be, or
Yes.
the game's gonna have happened already. It's tomorrow, November 5th, on a Saturday. Tickets are expensive, so you're not gonna see me there. I'm gonna be working, sadly. But
But you'll probably stream it through your phone while we're
oh
working.
yeah. If you come by my store and I take forever getting you shoes or something, I'm sorry about that, guys. I'm gonna be watching the game, but yeah.
But that experience is gonna be awesome.
That's gonna be a great.
Their
Yes.
first World MLS Cup appearance in the franchise history, but it sucks for fans that they can't park due to that USC get playing at the Memorial Coliseum. But hey, rules are rules when you're showing
Football over football.
Yeah, football over
That's
football.
football on football action. Come on,
Football
guys.
Americano
Gotta do
versus
better.
Yeah, I
Football.
wish I went to go do that game like I did the last
Same.
one, but sadly we got declined.
yeah, but
So
but
shout out
it's
to
okay.
LAFC. You need to do something.
LAFC,
Yeah,
guys,
yes.
come on.
get us to the door.
I just need Aaron to get me the F1 thing, you know.
Oh, F1.
Oh, hey, we should all go down there
That's the next
Checo.
project right there.
and enjoy the Vegas Strip. Play some roulette and some slots.
Of course.
Maybe meet some other
Yes.
people.
Yeah.
I don't know. Everybody
Party.
can
Yeah,
do
see
that.
some
Some
models
blackjack.
and
Perfect.
everything.
Hey, what do you think? I'm thinking about the sport.
Oh,
Hey.
okay.
All right, cars and drivers.
I have just one news for hockey. I'm not sure if you guys are really fond with hockey.
I know the
not,
Coyotes
Hey.
suck.
Let's go Kings.
I will say though,
let's
watch
go
hockey.
Ducks.
I see some hockey games. Those things
Hey,
intense. It's intense.
They get down though.
Oh,
they get
yeah,
down.
they
The
be throwing-
referees
they be
let them
throwing
get down.
hands.
Boom, baby.
Of course.
They don't want 2 shots here and there. Little jab.
Yeah, I found out that Ryan Reynolds,
Oh, the
which
actor.
is the actor that plays Deadpool,
I love Deadpool.
Oh,
could
okay.
become an NHL
hockey player?
owner.
Oh,
That would be. that would be
That would be awesome. Hey, shout out to the next movie. Matthew said it first. If he plays an
The next-
actor, he
the
plays a
next
hockey
movie?
player.
wait, what?
the next movie that
Yeah,
he plays.
for him.
Oh, he's gonna be a
For
hockey
For
player.
Ryan. Oh.
Hey, hello. I'm setting you up,
Can
dog.
you know what? No, that's not him, huh? Ryan Reynolds is not a different one. You know that Ken and Barbie doll? Ken and Barbie?
No,
that's
he
not-
is. He
that
is.
him?
That's wait.
No,
Wait,
yeah,
that's Ryan
it is.
Gosling.
Oh,
That's
it's Ryan
Ryan
Gosling.
Gosling.
I'm sorry, I thought Ryan's
Hey,
mixed up.
you know what? We got them confused. They're both some beautiful men. Let's talk about
Yeah,
it.
they both
Oh,
named
yes.
Ryan.
That-
I'm just
Some
okay.
good looking
Yeah,
dudes.
but he's gonna be one of the owners of the NHL, or is he
Yes.
gonna bid on it?
According to the People magazine, a source has revealed that Reynolds is very interested in buying the NHL team, the Ottawa Senators, should they go up to sale. I haven't heard about that
Wow.
team before. I'm sorry. I don't.
I know they're somewhere in Canada, somewhere up there.
Do we know
but-
their valuation?
Huh?
Do we know how much they're worth?
I don't
probably
really
No
think
clue.
go up.
probably in the billions.
More than me. That's
Yeah, but is it
Shout out Papi Aron, F1 driver for Red Bull.
in his truck?
Sorry, he's
good.
recording.
In his
He's
truck,
recording
too.
us right now.
Yeah, this guy's kind of weird.
But anyways,
Little
isn't
suck.
Ryan Reynolds owner of the Burham soccer team?
Yes, he is.
Is
He
he?
became an owner, right?
Yeah, and they have a series on him on FS, I think.
Yep. Heard of that?
So good for
Sick.
him. Yeah, he's racking up the dough
Expanding his
with Cricket
portfolio.
Mobile too.
Oh
Hey, now.
yeah, Cricket Mobile.
I'm gonna be like 3 more minutes, a little bit, maybe 2, because we already went over an hour.
That's okay.
You can just wrap it up right now.
viewers
if
love
That's
it.
all
Just
right.
wrap it up.
Yeah, go
Okay.
for it.
Okay, everyone, that is the time we have today. Make sure you listen to RH Sports Zone on Spotify or on Apple Podcasts at Al Pisano Media. It comes out every Monday, and be sure to follow our Instagram at Alpi Media. And if you Roadrunners are on campus, be sure to pick up a copy of the newspaper that are located like in black boxes around Rio Hondo. And also, you could also see our stories at El Pisano Online, so that you guys take a look at our stories. We write stories every week: sports, A&E, lifestyle, even news. And catch us next Friday. We will have our mystery guest. So stay
Yes.
tuned.
For sure.
I'm excited. I know who it is,
Okay.
but you guys
I don't.
don't.
Can we know?
Woo.
You got
I
some-
can't say.
No,
You
not
have
right
to-
now.
Until the next
Say.
episode.
Yeah, when the cameras are off. When the cameras
It's not a mystery guest anymore.
It's not a mystery
We
guest.
gotta keep it a mystery.
Yeah. So stay tuned. Bye, everyone. This is RH Sports Zone signing off.